you answered yes to any of these things, then you did great this year. Hi there, welcome to Intentional Living with Meb. So we're in that season of the year where everyone starts to post the things they achieved in the year. You see photos of the places people were able to travel to during the year, events they hosted, the amount of money they made. Yeah, but it looks like there's really nothing you can put out there to say this is what you achieved this year. And now you're feeling like you're a failure. You're feeling like your year did not amount to anything, or you're feeling like maybe you are not meant for those big things. This video is actually to prove you wrong. You are not a failure, and you did not waste your year. You were not exempted from those to whom big things or Instagram worthy things happen to. No, you're not. Things actually happened for you this year. Yeah, great stuff actually happened in your life this year. The only problem is you do not see those things as great. You do not give them the proper recognition they should have. When you think of great stuff, do you only think about getting a new car, getting a new house, receiving that offer letter, or being able to travel to great places where you can have photos and videos that are gram worthy? Are those the only definitions you put to success? I hope not. Were you able to get rid of a bad habit this year? Did you start a new habit this year? Did you get closer to God in any way, the slightest way? Did you get closer to someone this year? Did you make your relationship even a tiny bit better this year? Did you improve your skill this year? Did you make one person smile this year? Did you make one person thank God for you this year? Did you meet one person, just one person's need this year? Did you win a soul this year? Did you appreciate anyone this year? Did anyone even appreciate you? Did someone tell you thank you from their heart this year? Did you read one book that helped you grow in even the smallest area of your life this year? Did you get to stay in the hospital for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, a month, 2 months this year? If you did, now you're out. You're a lot better. If you did not, think about a lot of other people who probably have not spent more than a few days out of the hospital this year. Now, if you did any of these things, if you answered yes to any of these things, then you did great this year. You did marvelously this year. You were tremendous. You were awesome. You were extraordinary this year. Don't worry if those things are not worthy enough to be put on Instagram or to be turned to a YouTube video. Don't worry about that. 2 things I want to highlight here when you're feeling like you did not do well this year, or when you feel like you did not have a great year this year. First of all, those people whose videos and posts you're looking at to compare your life with, I want you to picture 2 scenarios with those people. The first scenario, you can't authenticate the honesty in those posts. You can't tell if they really did those things. And even if they did, how happy are they? Do you know what their lives look like without a camera in front of them? That couple whose picture you looked at and felt like your marriage wasn't thriving as much as it should, do you know what happens between them when the camera is not before them? Do you know if any of those people who have hundreds of photos for the achievement they made in the year, do you know if they are probably crying themselves to sleep? Now, you don't know what happens in the privacy of the lives of those people with whom you compare yourself. You only get to see the good things. You only get to see what they want you to see. Not to be negative now, but I want you to genuinely ask yourself, aside those things you see them post, would you want to have their lives? Would you want to have the things that happen to them in private? If you're sounding anything like, oh, you're not sure because you don't know what it looks like in private for them, then you should not think you're a failure because you do not have the pictures or the videos that they have on their social media platforms, right? For the second scenario, let's assume every of those things happen to them and they're not crying when the camera is not before them, and they're happy and fulfilled just as they are in their videos and their posts. Do you know how long it took them to get to that point? Do you know what they had to endure at any point in their lives before they got there? Some people put years years and decades of hard work before they arrive at that destination where you get to see those beautiful photos and Instagram worthy videos. Of course, they might not have carried you along as they put in the work, and now you're seeing just the result. Would it not be unwise to compare yourself with someone who has probably gone through the season of life you are currently in, right? Second thing I want you to note is that God does not work with us based on our 12-month calendar. No, God doesn't work with us that way. God works with us by seasons. To God, it doesn't matter if it's December or January or February, whatever it has to do with us would be based on the season of life we are in. So if you feel right now that your life isn't as enviable or there isn't any tangible outcomes to say about your life at this point, I want you to relax. Don't stress about it. It's just a season. And if you put in the work, the attention, and the mindfulness necessary to get you out of that season, you will definitely come out of it. No season lasts a lifetime. So if you think or if you feel you're at a point in your life where there's really nothing happening for you, or where you feel like you've not made the most of the year, what you need to focus your attention on is to ensure that whatever season you're currently going through, that you're learning the necessary lessons in that season, that you're picking up the habits or the lifestyle, the routine you're supposed to pick from that season, and you're making the most of it, so that by the time it comes to an end, you would have utilized the most of every element of that season. There are 4 things I would love you to do to help you combat that feeling of not having achieved anything this year. The first thing is practice gratitude. Trust me, there are a lot of things to be grateful for in the year. A lot of things to be grateful for. The fact that you can open up your phone and watch this video is something to be grateful for. The fact that you're breathing, that's something to be grateful for. The fact that you went out yesterday, you still went out today, and you'll still be out tomorrow, and you're enjoying safety, that's something to be grateful for, right? The fact that you can actually get data into your phone and you're probably in your house or your place of work or your vehicle watching this, those are things to be grateful for. Think about a lot of people who are homeless out there, who are ending the year homeless, who are ending the year jobless, without hope of where the next meal will come from. Your friends, those who loved you genuinely this year, your parents, your significant other, the love that you receive from people, the love you are able to give to people, there are things to be grateful for. So I'd love you to get out your journal whenever you can and make a list of the things you are grateful for the year. Make a list of the things you were able to achieve in the course of the year. Even if they are not things you have pictures or proof of, just make a list of things you're grateful for, your health, provision, whatever it is, make a list of them and spend at least 30 seconds brooding over each of them and expressing gratitude to God for them. Trust me, when you're done with this exercise, that feeling of being a failure or that feeling of not having achieved anything this year would vanish, because that you're alive alone, right, is actually something to celebrate. Yeah. Another thing you could do to help combat that feeling of not achieved anything this year is to stay rooted in your identity. Being rooted in your identity anytime, any day helps you deal with that temptation to compare yourself with anyone at any time. Who are you? Who are you in Christ? If you're a believer, who has God said you are? What defines you? What are your strengths? What are your life's values? What's your season? When you get answers to all those questions, trust me, you will never have the need to compare yourself with anybody. What is God saying to you at this point? What's the emphasis on your life at this point? This is similar to your life season, but this is more constricted. This is more like a smaller bucket of the things happening for you in a season. What emphasis is God laying on your heart at this time? What's that thing you feel or you've, from observation, seen that you should focus on? So it could be that at this time, the emphasis is to get better at your job, get better at things that you do at work, or at this time, the emphasis is to be a better parent, right? To spend more time with your family, to spend more time with your children, to spend more time with your spouse. What's the emphasis going to be for you at the beginning of the year what should you focus on doing? Should you focus on saving more money, being more mindful of how you spend money, being more mindful of how you spend your time? Whatever the focus is for you at this time, pay attention to it and be mindful enough to know when you've attained reasonable outcome there, so that you can move on to the next emphasis of your life. If you keep living your life ensuring to know what the emphasis is at every point in time, you will never feel like a failure, because that's progress in itself. When you're able to perceive whatever it is your life should focus on in a given time, and you are able to focus attention, time, and effort towards it to get a tangible outcome, and then you move on to the next emphasis, you achieve good results there, move on to the next one, you achieve good result there. That is progress. That is progress. I mean, that's living a successful life. So always find out what the emphasis of your life is at every given time, and then turn your time, energy, and focus to that particular thing to get results. Before I go into the last one, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please and please and please do so. Like the video and leave your comments below. Engage with the video so that YouTube can keep recommending stuff like this to you. Now, finally, plan to do well next year. It's not the end of the world, and it's not the end of your life. So if you feel like you didn't do well in 2024, that you did not have anything to brag about, in quotes, for the year, plan to do well next year. I will link a year-end evaluation blueprint by my coach, Debola Dejikromi of Immerse Coaching Company, in the description below. It's free of charge, so you can download the blueprint and have an evaluation, a thorough evaluation of the different areas of your life, how you performed in this year, and plan how you can actually do better in them the following year. And I trust that this video has been of immense help to you, and that you're going to put what you've learned from this video to practice. Until I see you in my next video, please take care of yourself and know that you're doing great.